question.
All right, thanks, Kurt. Well, really just kind of building on what I said earlier today. This, if you ask why, why am I out, and why am I wanting to, make a statement? And obviously, it was all precipitated by, some allegations, some accusations that were unsubstantiated a couple of weeks ago regarding some articles and things of that nature. And the reason I'm out today is because I want to speak truth. That's just as simple as I can make it. I want to speak truth. And it was really good that Auburn came out today and was able to refute a lot of the allegations that were made. I think they did a very, very good job on not giving opinion, but backing everything up with fact. And I think that was the right thing to do. And I'm in a position where I can simply come out and speak truth. So that's the nature of me being in this position right now. I think one of the things that happens in the media a lot of times is when you have very inflammatory and accusatory articles that come out, either on TV, articles that come out in addition to TV and radio. Unfortunately, the way the world works is that the initial story gets all of the coverage, and then whatever the follow-up is to that doesn't get near as much of the coverage. And again, it's important for me today that as Auburn makes their statement and I talk about things that are important to me, that were accusations and indictments towards me and my family, I want to make sure that truth is there, and the truth now is as big as the allegations at the beginning. Because unfortunately in the world of media, good or bad, one way or the other, it usually doesn't end up being that way. So, that being said, I'm happy to be able to come out today and talk about several different issues. And one thing that I do want to note, that when you have things that happen like this, there's a lot of families, there's a lot of children, there's a lot of people that are affected by things that come out, again, that are unsubstantiated and backed up with no fact. And that's very bothersome. And so, again, I'm here to speak truth. So with that, I can open it up to questions for you guys. And again, I will do my best to answer it to the best of my ability.
Gene, clearly you're taking this very personally. You cited family. Are you pursuing legal action against Selena Roberts for her story?
No, I'm not pursuing. I'm pursuing the truth. I'm pursuing the truth. And again, my point to that was simply that, this is big picture. Whenever there's things that are put out there for people to have to respond to that aren't thoroughly investigated or, in my opinion, very flawed, you simply hurt a lot of people. And it's not just me. I'm talking broad statement. You hurt a lot of people. So if everybody's going to be professional in their job, it doesn't matter what you do. You do your best to gather the facts and present truth. Doesn't matter what your job is. And I just don't think that was very thoroughly done.
Gene, how tough was it to have to sit in, especially that 2010 season, and see Cam kind of raked over the coals and not be able to defend him like you wanted to?
Well, let me say this, Jason, because I think that's a great question. I'm going to start with that 2010, but I'm going to even make that a bigger picture, because and I said this earlier today, what is somewhat of an enigma to me is how back in 2010, what started out as a Mississippi State problem all of a sudden became an Auburn problem. It never ended. It went on for 13 or 14 months. And then there seemed to be a trail that kept following of a lot of accusations a lot of allegations, but I'm looking for facts. And it's very difficult for the Auburn people, and it's not fair. It's very difficult for the Auburn people who were, at that point in time, including our coaches and our players and our staff, having a magical season that people dream about. And whether we like it or not, there's always the elephant in the room. There's always the distraction of, yeah, but the asterisk, we didn't do anything wrong. We signed a good football player who became a Heisman Trophy winner, and we won 14 games. And the unfortunate, sad truth to that is that it'll always go down as a national championship year in the history of Auburn, but it should have been able to be classified and described as exactly what it was. It was a bunch of young guys and a bunch of coaches that worked their rear end off to win a national championship, and they went undefeated. And that's the beginning and the end of the story. In anything or any way that it gets tainted other than that, it's simply not right. And I'm going to say one thing more about Cam Newton. I will jump to his defense because what that young man went through and the focus and the way he carried himself under unbelievable scrutiny, and again, for something that he was just trying to go to school and be a college student and be a college quarterback. And he had to endure a lot of unfair criticism that at the end of the day, when the NCAA finally left Auburn, Cam, our coaches, for 13 or 14 months, whatever that was, we were dragged through the mud. And when the NCAA left, they didn't find anything that indicated anybody was paid or anybody was offered money. So I'm going to go one step further for all the people that are educated and have common sense. If you don't know how the NCAA works, they're very thorough in their investigations. Let me make that clear. They're very thorough in their investigations. You want me to back that up with fact? I'll name them. Miami, Ohio State, North Carolina, most recently Oregon, USC. So how could they come into Auburn and leave and find nothing, and that becomes a one-sentence statement after getting drugged through the mud for 13 months? How is that right? It's not right. So my point is that was a magical season for the Auburn people, for us as coaches, and all of our players, and it should be remembered as just that. And nothing more.
As you knew back in 2010 that there was nothing to hide, there was nothing wrong, how hard was it for you on a week-by-week basis to not come out and say that?
I want you guys to imagine what you know is truth. I want you to imagine walking into your house, and I want you to imagine looking at your children and then saying, "Hey, Daddy, at school, I heard X, Y, and Z. Did you really do that?" "No, we didn't, son." "Well, then why don't you tell everybody?" "Because we can't." So how hard would that be for anybody at this table? So I knew that there was nothing in there that we did wrong. You ask how hard it is? People say, "Why did you come and give the same answer every week?" How many times in different ways can you ask the same question and I got to give you the same answer? Because what people don't understand, if they don't understand NCAA investigation, is that you cannot impede the progress of an investigation. So however you want to word it, You can change up the verbs and the nouns and the syllables and but it's got to be the same message. And the message is, I can't discuss it. So was that hard? Yes, that hard. But you know, the only thing we were trying to do is eventually get to the truth. And we wanted to make sure, because our compliance staff did a great job in making sure that we were getting to the truth.